Some of Nostradamus's quatrains have depicted terror we have never seen before. Of course, no one knew the meaning of those predictions. However, some of these horrible predictions seem to foretell events hundreds of years after Nostradamus's passing. Those predictions can be found throughout the Book of Prophecy, but many of those Doomsday predictions are clustered in Century 2. At this time, we would like to share with you another such prediction we find in Century 2, Quatrain 96, quote, "Burning torch will be seen in the sky at night, near the end and beginning of the Rhone. Famine steel, the relief provided late. Persia turns to invade Macedonia." Line 1 talked about burning torch seen in the night. I think it is about the Doomsday comet mentioned in the Chinese prophecy Tuibei 2. Line 2 talks about its effect on Europe. Rhone is the river running through the Alps to the Mediterranean Sea. The third line talked about famine and steel, which is about war and famine, and the comment about relief provided late. War has already happened, but the comet is not here yet. However, with food shortage getting worse day by day, we know famine is not far off. The fourth line talked about Persia turning to invade Macedonia. This is a hint about a war between Iran and Greece. If we see an unwelcomed comet in the night sky, a new round of war may happen soon. My estimate for the comet's arrival is around 2028. The next quatrain is about the death of the Pope. We find in Century 2, Quatrain 97, quote, "Roman Pontiff, beware of approaching the city that two rivers flow through. Near there your blood will come to spurt, you and yours when the rose will flourish." Line 1 mentioned about the Roman Pontiff. Line 2 talked about a city with two rivers flowing through. I believe that is Lyon. In 1798, Pope Pius VI lost in a battle to Napoleon. He was imprisoned in France and died in 1799. So this is a fulfilled prophecy from the past. We don't have to worry about it now. Although Nostradamus carefully hid his vision in these hard-to-decode poems, we have pieced together clues that others have missed, and we've shared our thoughts with you. However, we had a hard time decoding the next two quatrains. Let's take a look, first of all, in Century 2, Quatrain 98, quote, "The one whose face is splattered with the blood of the victim nearly sacrificed. Jupiter in Leon, omen through presage, to be put to death then for the bride." I almost gave up on decoding this because the fourth line mentioned put to death, then for the bride. It is hard to find an important historical figure that was put to death, and the last part, for the bride, makes the riddle almost impossible to decode. But I think I may have found the true meaning behind this quatrain. The one mentioned in line 1 is Napoleon. Millions have died because of his military aggression. And although he was deeply in love with Josephine, his queen, his desire for a son made him annul their marriage, and he proposed to the most eligible royal at that time, the Austrian Archduchess Marie-Louise. Austria was defeated many times by Napoleon. The Austrians hated Napoleon but agreed to marry their Archduchess to him for peace. That is mentioned in line 2. Victim nearly sacrificed. Not sure what line 3 means, but my prior decoding found Napoleon was murdered while in captivity. After the first exile, he made a comeback but lost again. Maybe he did it to get back to his wife. But that second defeat sealed his fate, and he was slowly poisoned to death. After solving the puzzle in Quatrain 98, I think I got an idea to solve the next quatrain. We find in Century 2 Quatrain 99, quote, "Roman land as the omen interpreted will be vexed too much by the Gallic people, but the Celtic nation will fear the hour. The fleet has been pushed too far by the north wind." While researching about Napoleon's brides, I realized Napoleon's victory against Austria led Napoleon to dissolve the Holy Roman Empire. This explained line 1 and line 2, as Gaelic means French. Line 3 talked about Celtic nation, which is the United Kingdom. In the English Channel, the fleet led by Nelson defeated the French-Spanish fleet as stated in line 3 and 4. So now, we will share with you the last quatrain of Nostradamus' Doomsday Century. We find in Century 2, Quatrain 100, quote, "Within the Isles a very horrible uproar. One will hear only a party of war. So great will be the insult of the plunderers that they will come to be joined in the Great League." I believe the Isles mentioned in line 1 is the Isles in the United Kingdom. The uproar is about Scotland's vote for joining the EU. As you can see in line 4, they will come to be joined in the Great League. This is a wild guess, and probably not a popular one to my UK fans. However, look at line 2. One will hear only a party of war. Did you know Scotland has only one major party, the Scottish National Party? It held 64 of 129 seats in the Scottish Parliament and 45 of 59 seats in the House of Commons. Wikipedia stated it primarily supports Scotland becoming an independent nation. So, line 2 seems to be right on. Will they succeed? I think they will. Of course, line 1 already predicted a horrible uproar. I believe all kinds of efforts will be used to stop the Scots from leaving the UK. Actually, line 3 stated, "insult of the plunderers." I'm sure bribes, scandals, lies, everything you can think of will be used from both sides. And a compromise may eventually allow the Scots to join the EU. But keep some kind of special arrangement so they can still be a star on the UK's flag, like Australia. Believe it or not, we did it. We decoded in detail every quatrain in Nostradamus' Century 2. I don't know what you think of our decoding, but I have to confess that we are not psychics. We use tools that you have, compared with historical events and news, to come up with our original and unique decoding. We may not be right, and actually we hope we are wrong. We don't want war, famine, and disease, but we want to share with you what we think we see in the Book of Prophecy, so we can be better prepared. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.